14.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing INT'L of committing a gross abuse.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.
Apostle Suleiman calls on Christians to boycott Netflix over sacrilegious movie. Falana writes AGF Malami in 6 shows release. From the foreign scene, U.S. envoy Stephen Biegun tells North Korea, let's get this done. Dangote refinery will help Nigeria save $10 billion, Forex minister says. And on Sport Corner, Ivan Agafe will be rocking that aspect. Thank you once again for joining us on Celebration Television News Desk. I am Nicholas Akwesile. Please stay with us as we bring you details of that news. Welcome back. Now the news in details. Apostle Suleiman calls on Christians to boycott Netflix over sacrilegious movie. Apostle Johnson Suleiman, president of Omega Fire Ministries, who is known for his outspoken nature and also known to be a major defender of the gospel of Christ and Christianity around the world, is furious over the new Netflix Christmas special titled The First Temptation of Christ, which shows a character believed to be Jesus in a gay relationship and Mary as a weed smoker. This has angered millions all over the world and also prompted him to firstly react to his Twitter handle, which reads, "We have 2.5 billion Christians on earth. If Netflix goes ahead with this, we should boycott them. That movie is evil, it's not right, and it will not stand." In his next tweet, he called on Christians to delete the Netflix app and unfollow them. More than 1 million people have signed a petition calling for Netflix to remove that sacrilegious comedy. The movie was made by a YouTube comedy group and was released by Netflix in Brazil on the 3rd December 2019. At the time of writing, 1.5 million people have signed a petition against the program. Reactions to the 40-minute show was quick. Brazilians took to social media and the internet calling for a boycott of Netflix and the cancellation of the parody. Many people say the episode ridiculous. I'll take it again. Many people say the episode ridicules the Christian faith. The movie released in Brazil immediately aroused the anger of the Brazilian bishops and other Christian associations who criticized the short film and said there is a limit to freedom of expression. Some Muslims in the world also reacted against this act as they see it to be a threat to religious beliefs. Brazil's National Association of Islamic Jurists expressed solidarity, saying we are against any disrespect and solidarity with our Christian brothers. One of these Muslims on his Twitter handle said, "I am a Muslim, but I find this to be highly sacrilegious." We need to draw the line when it comes to religion. No religion should ever be subject to such mockery and disrespect. Forget our belief, let's come together to fight against this. Still on local news, Falana writes AGF Malami and 6 shows release. Human rights lawyer Mr. Femi Falana has written to the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, seeking the release of the convener of Revolution Now protest, Omoyele Sowore, from the custody of the Department of State Service. Filing a letter dated December 13, 2019, and made available to the journalist on Sunday, followed the Friday's announcements on the AGF office that it had taken over the prosecution of Sowore and his co-defendant Olawale Bakare from the DSS. The AGF's takeover of the case was informed by the widely condemned invasion of the Federal High Court in Abuja by the operatives of the DSS to rearrest Sowore on December 6th. Falana, who heads the defense team of the two men, informed Malami that his letter became necessary after two lawyers in the team visited the DSS headquarters in Abuja to demand Sowore's release, but were advised to direct their request to him. Still from the local scene, aggrieved senators may demand probe of 264 billion naira budget hike. Some senators have kicked against the 264 billion naira added to the 2020 budget by the leadership of the National Assembly. President Muhammadu Buhari had proposed a budget of 10.33 trillion for the 2020 fiscal year, but the federal parliament increased it to about 10.6 trillion naira. Investigations revealed that some senators were not happy with the increment. Some of the senators alleged that the leadership of the National Assembly decided to favor some of their loyalists with projects from the added 264 billion naira. One of the aggrieved senators from the North Central geopolitical zone said the development was already causing disaffection among the federal lawmakers. He said the cause of the anger by aggrieved senators is not the sharing formula adopted for 100 billion naira for constituency projects. It is actually the arbitrary allocation of projects to senators who are perceived loyalists of the leadership of the detriment of some of us. Another senator from the Southwest said it is obvious that the leadership has created a division by their actions, and some of us will rise up to the occasion. A look at the budget revealed the curious projects inserted in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development. Lastly, from the local scene, Lagos to open bid for 4th mainland bridge. The Lagos State government has said it will on Wednesday open bid for firms that showed interest in the construction of the 4th mainland bridge. The State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotosho, stated this while addressing the press as part of activities lined up to mark Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's 200 days in office. Omotosho, who said local and international firms expressed interest in the construction of the bridge, said the bidding would be done at a ceremony to be hosted by the state government. The commissioner added that Sanwo-Olu administration had put a special focus on infrastructure, traffic management and transportation to reduce gridlock. Speaking on Sanwo-Olu's 200 days in office, Omotosho said the governor
on the anointing of judgment, and I prophesy everything shall go down today.
Operation Jabez 2019, December, at Omega Fire Ministries International.
For us to do our jobs, let's get this done. We are here and you know how to reach us. US President Donald Trump has said he will not lift sanctions until North Korea fully abandons its nuclear program. North Korea said if the US did not make an acceptable offer, it would find a new way. More from the foreign news. Hillsong Worship set to tour 28 US cities in 2020. International Christian music group Hillsong Christian Gospel Albums Chart. Speaking about the tour, lead singer Brooke Lingotward said they have been humbled by the way God has been using the songs of the new studio album, Awake, across his church and in the lives of individuals in the short time it has been out. They can't wait to bring them to full color, live expressions in the context of these nights of ministry. The multiple platinum selling groups whose passion is to equip and unbelievers around the world with
Jesus! Out! 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 Fire all over you! There's a difference between powers and power. In Luke 10:19, Jesus said, I give unto you power over the powers. Aragasaga, Engaragasaga. Anna Christine.
Yes.
That's your name?
Yes.
There is miracle power here. Miracle! 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 Miracle!
Are you at Miracle Night?
Welcome back. Barring any last-minute change, President Muhammadu Buhari is billed to assent to the 2020 appropriation bill on Tuesday. It was learned from National Assembly sources on Sunday that the presidency had invited the leadership of the Federal Parliament to the budget signing ceremony at the presidential villa. An official who is close to one of the presiding officers told our correspondent on condition of anonymity the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, among others, had been invited to witness the signing of the budget. The source said, we have a notice from the presidency to be at the presidential villa on Tuesday to witness the signing of the budget. Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Zainab, when complete, Botei said the group's revenue would increase from $4 billion to $30 billion after the completion of the projects in 2021, adding that it aimed to become one of the major suppliers of foreign exchange in Nigeria. The Executive Director, Strategy, Capital Projects and Portfolio Development, Dangote Group, Mr. Davakuma Edwin, said the 650,000 barrel per day refinery could meet 100% of the Nigerian requirement of all liquid petroleum products and would have surplus for exports. Coming up next, it's news from the Sports Corner, and that's going to be coming from our sport analyst, Ivan Agafe. Stay with us, don't go anywhere.
It's going to be more than expected, more than a feeling, total reliance on God. Glory Night, 31st December 2019. Be at with Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman live at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries headquarters, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. Bye.
Jesus! Out! 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 Fire all over you! There's a difference between powers and power. In Luke 10:19, Jesus said, I give unto you power over the powers.
Yes.
Fire and Miracle Night.
Shout Jesus! Out! 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 Fire all over you. There's a difference between powers and power. In Luke 10:19, Jesus said, I give unto you power over the powers. Aragasaga, Engaragasaga. Anna Christine.
Yes.
That's your name?
Yes.
There is miracle power here. Miracle! 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 Miracle!
Fire and Miracle Night.
Shout Jesus! Out! Out! Out!
Yes.
That's your name?
Yes.
There is miracle power here. Miracle!
Chelsea 0, Bournemouth 1, welcoming you to Sports Corner on Celebration TV News Desk. I am Ivan Agafe. We get the ball rolling. A disappointing weekend for Chelsea FC and fans around the world. The Blues have struggled in recent weeks with their latest defeat compounding their on-field issues, particularly on their own home turf. The struggles continue for Chelsea this weekend as they fell to their perennial bogey team, Bournemouth, once again, to make it 4 Premier League losses in 5 and match an unwanted mark in the process. Frank Lampard's side may have reached the next stage of the Champions League on the continent, but have struggled in recent weeks to translate that success into domestic promise. Their rocky run was best summed up in another loss at Stamford Bridge against Eddie Howe's side, who have remained one of the most frustrating opponents for the Blues in recent years. In addition, defeat means that Lampard has now seen his side lose 5 of their 14 home games across all competitions this season, only one fewer than they had over 62 games combined throughout the 2017/2018 and 2018/2019 campaigns in total. Terrible. The Blues have also now failed to score in 2 of their last 3 at Stamford Bridge, having previously scored in 14 consecutive home league games, and 2 losses in their last 3 Premier League games on their own turf is as many as they registered in their prior 28 games in the same competition in West London. Chelsea now face 2 London derbies with Tottenham and Arsenal over the Christmas period, along with a home encounter against Southampton before they travel to Brighton on New Year's Day. Best of luck, they sure do need it. Now, going forward at the Emirates Stadium, it was Arsenal 0, Manchester City 3. When will it ever get better for the Gunners? I'm not seeing that happening anytime soon because they are playing terrible football. As halftime approached at the Emirates Stadium, Manchester City fans tucked away in the corner began to sing one of their favorites, we are not really here. Given their team was already 3-0 down, Arsenal supporters inside the stadium probably wished they were elsewhere too. But the broader point is that on the evidence of those opening 45 minutes, Pep Guardiola's side are not where they should be. City began the day 17 points behind Premier League leaders Liverpool, but such was their dominance from the opening whistle that you wondered how that was possible. Liverpool are a very good team, no doubt, and City were aided by Arsenal being, well, Arsenal, but the way they repeatedly carved open the home side suggested that should be closer to younger club's team. But when Kevin De Bruyne is playing like he did against Arsenal, Raheem Sterling is scoring, and Phil Foden shows flashes of genius at just 19 years old, there does not appear to be much wrong with Guardiola's side. For Arsenal, the only positive was that a day that could have ended up a disaster was only classed as bad. The result was 3-0, but City could quite easily have hit 6. The Gunners meanwhile managed just 1 shot on target in the entire 90 minutes, 1 shot on target, and have now lost 5 successive league games with City. Their worst run against an opponent since being beaten 5 straight times by Manchester United between September 1983 and August 1985. What's this Manchester team? Manchester City, Manchester United. Anyway, if you're a National fan out there, I don't have the right words for you, Dan. There is more to come. Well, I'm sorry. Now, completely over to something quite different. Kickboxing. Who else is making news but our Nigerian brother doing us proud, Kamaru Usman? Over the weekend, he defended his welterweight title against Colby Covington, and he did win. Kamaru Usman produced a stunning final round finish to retain his welterweight title with a thrilling win over Colby Covington. The challenger began the fight in the ascendancy but could not maintain his early pace and was eventually overhauled by the Nigerian in the closing stages. Usman, who was making the first defense of his belt, looked to be reliant on the judges until Usman upped the pace in the last 2 minutes as a right to the chin stunned his challenger and another dropped him before he seized the chance to finish the fight. At the end, Kamaru Usman emerged winner, successfully defending his title. Wow. More wins, more belts, and keep making Nigeria proud. And that has been Sports Corner. Back to Nicholas Akosili. I am Ivan Agafe. Bye.
Yes. That's your name?
Yes.
There is miracle power here. Miracle! 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 Fire and Miracle Night.
It's going to be more than expected, more than a feeling. Total reliance on God. Glory Night, 31st December 2019. Be at the crossover night with Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman, live at the International Worship Center, Omega 5 Ministries headquarters, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. Bye.
Wow, that was a wonderful one from Eva Agafe, and I do hope you enjoyed the sport analysis. And that has brought us to the end of the News on Celebration Television News Desk. And in case you're just joining us, here's the recap of the news headlines. Apostle Suleiman calls on Christians to boycott Netflix over sacrilegious movie. Falana writes AGF Malami and Sikh chivalry's release. U.S. envoy Stephen Biegun tells North Korea, let's get this done. Dangote refinery will help Nigeria save $10 billion, Forex Minister. And in case you're just joining us and you're not following us on our social media platform, you could as well do a follow-up on Facebook, Celebration TV, on Instagram, My Celebration TV, on Twitter at My Celebration TV, on YouTube, www.mycelebration.tv.